All right, Aquarius, let's get into your reading. Let us come in close today because the energy spread across this entire table is overwhelming me. The cards were barely placed down, and every single one activated with raw emotional force immediately. I have never felt a gravitational pull this intense, and it wraps completely around your heart space. This person connected to your reading, they carry something enormous that links directly back to you. Whatever brutal road you have been walking through in love, the cards confirm a tectonic shift today. Your spirit sat in that fire longer than most people could survive, and the cards acknowledge that fully. There is a sacred strength in you that kept burning even when the world tried extinguishing it. The moment I laid these cards out, I felt tears building behind a wall you constructed years ago. So, the message I have for you today is this, and I need you to receive it fully. You have suffered long enough in this area of your heart, and your miracle is finally arriving now. That heaviness you carried across months or even years, it is being physically lifted off your shoulders. The universe cataloged every single tear you shed in silence, and it preserved a record of your endurance. Nothing you endured was pointless or forgotten, because all of it sculpted the blessing approaching you today. This is not some minor shift at your door. It is the kind of love that rewrites everything. The energy surrounding your situation carries an expiration date on suffering, and that date has officially passed. Your miracle did not stumble upon you randomly. This reading found you because you were finally ready. The timing of this message is no accident, and the cards want you to understand that completely. The first card I have for you is the Star, and it radiates pure restoration from its core. The Star confirms that a devastating chapter is sealing shut permanently, and renewal floods into your world. Every wound that festered quietly beneath the surface, this card says the healing has already taken hold. You maintained hope even when nothing around you made sense, and the Star honors that unbreakable faith. A deep wave of stillness moves across your emotional body, replacing confusion with undeniable clarity right now. Restoration at this depth does not visit those who surrendered. It arrives for those who kept believing. The next card coming through is the Ten of Cups, and this one nearly rendered me completely speechless. Ten of Cups holds the fullest expression of emotional fulfillment, the kind you nearly stopped believing. This card does not appear for people sitting far from their happiness. It only arrives at the doorstep. Your emotional landscape is being rebuilt from the ground up, and every single layer holds genuine warmth. The joy that once felt unreachable or entirely imaginary, this card confirms it is breathing beside you. Then we have the Ace of Wands, which sparks an entirely fresh wave of passion into your connection. Raw creative ignition enters through this card, and it incinerates every last trace of stagnation around you. Desire between you both is reigniting with unexpected force, and neither one of you could have predicted this. Something dormant at the very center of this bond just awakened, and it refuses to retreat ever again. Our final card here is the Empress, and she holds the most nurturing frequency on this entire spread. The Empress declares that abundance in love is no longer some distant whisper. It is your living reality. She confirms you deserve to be treasured without a single condition attached, and that truth materializes now. Your heart earned the sacred right to receive without apology, and the Empress says the universe agrees completely. This reading arrived at the precise moment your pain transforms, and that transformation is not a coincidence. Love wears many disguises before revealing its true form, and yours is finally unveiling itself right now. Everything aligned across these cards confirms one undeniable conclusion. Your miracle in love is genuinely here. I feel the energy shifting hard, and the cards are turning their full attention directly toward you. Something inside your chest tightened when that message came through, and the cards noticed it instantly. This part of the reading belongs entirely to your heart and what has been living beneath your surface. Before we go further, I need you to know that the doubt you carry is not weakness. You constructed those walls because survival demanded it, and nobody has the right to judge that choice. The question this section answers is clear. What have you actually been feeling through all this silence? The first card on your side is the Nine of Swords, and it confirms those restless nights immediately. Nine of Swords says your mind became a war zone, and peaceful sleep turned into something you lost. You replay conversations that never occurred, and you rehearse outcomes that may never arrive at your door. The exhaustion moved beyond your physical body. It soaked into your emotions and made everything feel heavier. There were mornings where rising from bed felt heroic, and nobody around you recognized that quiet victory. This card also reveals you punish yourself for caring still, as if loyalty were some personal flaw. You created entire arguments in your head against yourself, and none of them were based in actual truth. You commanded your own heart to release this 100 times, but it refused every single order. The next card here is the Moon, and it uncovers a fog you navigated completely without any compass. The Moon confirms that confusion became your permanent address, and clarity vanished without leaving a single trace. You questioned your own instincts so many times, and trusting yourself started feeling like a reckless gamble. Part of you wonders if what you felt was real, or if your mind fabricated the entire thing. The Moon says that fear of appearing foolish again keeps you paralyzed, and vulnerability terrifies you now. You wear composure like armor for everyone watching, but behind closed doors, the uncertainty consumes you silently. Your pillow absorbed more honest confessions than any living person, and that silence became your closest companion. Nobody witnesses the version of you staring at ceilings, wondering if love was built to always hurt. Then we have the Four of Cups, And this card captures the numbness you wrapped yourself inside deliberately. Four of Cups says you crossed a threshold where feeling nothing became safer than risking another devastating blow. You stopped anticipating anything beautiful in love, and that shield became your default without you even realizing. Chances for genuine connection drifted past you recently, and you observed them leave without extending your hand. That was not apathy occupying your chest. It was grief wearing a mask so nobody would probe deeper. You convinced yourself that needing love was a burden, but Four of Cups says that belief was false. Our final card on your side is the Queen of Wands, revealing the fire you buried beneath everything. Queen of Wands confirms that underneath the exhaustion and self-doubt, a fierce version of you still burns. That fire did not die when love disappointed you. It retreated inward and waited for permission to return. You have not lost your warmth or your passion. You simply locked them away to guard what remained. The craving for soul-level love never left your body. It just learned to whisper instead of shout. Your heart recognizes exactly what it deserves, and that knowing is precisely why settling felt unbearable every time. You are not damaged for wanting something authentic, and the cards confirm your standards were never the problem. You protected your energy when the world treated it carelessly, and that instinct kept you whole through everything. Every ounce of pain you absorbed in silence carved a depth, one that most people will never understand. The love you hold capacity for frightens you sometimes, because you already know what it costs to care. You carried that weight in isolation for too long, and the cards say your solitary chapter is closing. The atmosphere around these cards shifted completely, and I sense this person stepping into the reading now. Their energy arrived heavy and tangled, like someone carrying a confession they cannot seem to release. This section belongs entirely to their inner world, and the cards expose what they hid from you. Whatever version of them you witnessed on the surface, it was never the complete story at all. They changed in ways you have not seen yet, and those changes began when they felt your absence. The distance between who they pretended to be and who they actually are, it finally collapsed inside them. The first card on their side is the Devil, and it reveals the obsession gripping their thoughts. The Devil says this person is chained to your memory, and they cannot untangle themselves from it. They tried replacing your presence with distractions, but nothing filled the cavity you carved inside them. Every substitute they reached for dissolved on contact, because their soul memorized the shape of yours. They sat in rooms that once held your laughter, and the emptiness became something they could not escape. The Devil confirms they are terrified of how deeply you entered their defenses, and fear controls them. They never expected to feel this entangled with another person, and the intensity frightened them deeply. This card shows someone wrestling with pride, refusing to admit that losing you shattered something permanent inside. Their ego constructed an entire performance of indifference, but underneath that mask, their heart screams for you. The version of themselves they showed the world costs them everything, because pretending requires constant energy now. The next card here is the Knight of Cups, and it exposes the romantic truth they buried alive. Knight of Cups confirms this person rehearses conversations with you, replaying them inside their head every night. They imagine what honesty would sound like if given another chance, and each version grows more vulnerable. This card reveals someone who fell deeper than they admitted, and the silence around it tortures them. Knight of Cups says their feelings evolved into something massive, something they have no words to categorize. They recognize you as different from every connection before, and that recognition paralyzed their entire response. What you sensed between you both was never invented, and the cards confirm that with undeniable clarity. You are not crazy for feeling something real beneath their silence, because the energy was always mutual. Their journey toward emotional honesty was brutal, and the road stretched far longer than anyone could predict. Then we have the Seven of Swords, uncovering the specific fears that drove every decision about you. Seven of Swords says this person operated from self protection, not cruelty, and not genuine disinterest either. They withheld their truth deliberately because vulnerability felt equivalent to placing a weapon in your hands. This card confirms they deceived themselves far more than they deceived you, pretending distance was survivable. Seven of Swords reveals someone who sabotaged closeness deliberately, then mourned the gap they personally manufactured. Their longest battle was never against you. It was against their own stubborn refusal to accept truth. Our final card on their side is the Two of Wands, capturing the crossroads that consumes them now. Two of Wands says this person stands at the edge of a decision, looking directly toward you. They already know what their heart demands, but the courage to honor that knowledge has not arrived. This card confirms they envision a future with you in it, and that vision amplifies inside them daily. Two of Wands shows someone who measured every available path, and each direction led back to your name. Their emotional world is no longer quiet about you. It roars with a need they barely contain anymore. What they carry became heavier than the fear of confessing it, and that shift happened very recently. Every card on their side confirms one undeniable truth. This person belongs to you beyond their own control. The pace of this reading just accelerated sharply, and I feel movement entering the cards with real force. Something shifted from stillness into motion, and the energy around this connection stopped waiting quietly. This section covers what happens next, the decisions being made, and the steps already in motion. The countdown on this situation hit zero, and the universe stopped allowing either of you to stall. The first card in the action position is the Eight of Wands, and it moves with undeniable speed. Eight of Wands confirms that communication breaks through the wall, shattering the silence that separated you both. A message arrives that you did not initiate, and the timing of it catches you completely off guard. The silence between you is ending abruptly, not through a slow fade, but through a sudden, decisive rupture. This card does not represent hesitation or debate. It represents swift, deliberate action, crossing every remaining barrier. Plans that sat dormant for weeks are activating now, and the momentum behind them feels undeniable and fast. The energy no longer circles in place. It locked onto a trajectory, and nothing obstructs its path. This person begins making moves you can physically observe, not internal shifts, but visible external behavior changes. They reach out in a way that eliminates all ambiguity, and their intention becomes impossible to misread. You may sense something approaching before it physically arrives, and that intuitive nudge is the pre-sign. Your body might react before your phone even lights up because the energetic bridge already activated between you. The convergence happening here is not one-sided. Both of you move toward the same point simultaneously now. The next card is the Chariot, and this card represents unstoppable forward determination, entering your situation directly. The Chariot says this person locked into a decision, and nothing external will redirect them from it. They stopped debating internally about whether to act, and that chapter of indecision sealed shut permanently behind them. This card confirms they seize control with a clarity, one that surprises even the people closest to them. Obstacles that previously blocked this connection are being driven through, not avoided, and not walked around. The chariot represents someone arriving with clear purpose, and that arrival happens within a measurable time frame now. You will not need to guess when this movement begins because the evidence presents itself in unmistakable ways. This card does not crawl toward its destination. It charges forward without requesting permission from anyone. Their actions in the coming days carry a directness, one you have not experienced from them before now. They stop performing confusion entirely and start showing up in ways that leave zero room for doubt. Our final action card is the Page of Swords, confirming that new information surfaces before you expect. Page of Swords says a conversation initiates soon, cutting through every layer of pretense built between you. Words that were swallowed for months finally escape, and they arrive carrying startling, raw honesty with them. Truth becomes the only currency exchanged between you both, and manufactured games officially expire at this point. Page of Swords strips away every protective script they rehearsed, leaving only unfiltered confession on the table. A revelation lands in your awareness unexpectedly, and it reframes everything you believed about this entire situation. The information heading toward you is not recycled confusion. It is a direct declaration demanding your full attention. Both paths converged at this exact window, and the cards confirm neither of you arrived here by accident. Movement is not approaching anymore. It already started, and the first signs reach you sooner than you expect. The action the cards describe carries no hesitation, no second guessing, and no stalling from either side involved. Everything accelerates from this point forward, and the shift you prayed for begins materializing in your physical world. The cards left no room for delay here, and neither will the events unfolding around you very soon. The cards dropped into a frequency I was not expecting, and a hidden layer cracked wide open. This section reaches into the places they guard fiercely, the confessions they refuse to speak aloud. Whatever they displayed on the surface barely scratched the depth, and what lives beneath is staggering. If your chest tightens while hearing this, that physical response confirms you already sensed this truth. Your body recognized what your mind kept questioning, and that recognition is not imagined at all. The first card revealing their confession is the Hierophant, and this truth runs deeper than romance. The Hierophant says they view you as sacred, not merely desired, but spiritually significant to them. They carry a private belief that you were placed in their life for reasons exceeding ordinary explanation. This card confirms they prayed about you quietly, asking guidance on something they felt unworthy to hold. The Hierophant reveals they see you as someone who restores their faith in what love actually means. They never admitted this to anyone breathing because that confession terrified them beyond any available words. The sacredness they assign to you lives in a vault, locked where no external judgment could reach it. They guard your memory like something holy, and they refuse to let anyone speak carelessly about you. The protector inside them activated the moment they recognized how permanent you became inside their architecture. That protective instinct deserves honor because it was born from a devotion they could never contain. If your arms feel heavy or your throat constricts, that is your body confirming this resonance physically. The next card is the Six of Cups, uncovering a confession rooted entirely in nostalgia and longing. Six of Cups says they replay specific moments with you, revisiting them like scenes from a film. They return to the smallest details you shared, the pauses between words and the warmth beside them. This card reveals they ache for a different reality, one where they never pulled away from you. Six of Cups uncovers a hidden desire to rewind time, to stand before you and choose differently. They fantasize about beginning again with honesty, the kind they were too frightened to offer initially. The regret they carry is not casual. It is a permanent resident inside their chest that never sleeps. They mourn the version of themselves brave enough to stay, and that mourning intensified with every passing week. Give yourself permission to feel whatever surfaces in your body, because the emotions rising here are valid. You are allowed to be moved by this without apology, and your sensitivity to this energy is sacred. Our final confession card is the King of Pentacles, and what it reveals anchors everything together permanently. King of Pentacles says they secretly want to build a stable life, with you standing at the center. They envision a future where you are protected and provided for, not just emotionally, but in tangible ways. This card confirms they calculated what real commitment requires, and they accepted every cost involved willingly. King of Pentacles reveals they imagine a shared home, a shared rhythm, and a daily life beside you. The desire for permanence with you is not passing. It became a decision that solidified inside them quietly. They mapped out your presence woven into their daily routine, and that internal blueprint grew incredibly detailed. They want to be the person you lean on freely, and that craving haunts them in private moments. This confession never reached your ears because they believed earning you required becoming someone more deserving first. The emotional overflow inside them has no remaining container, and what they buried presses against every seam. What they suppressed for self-preservation now demands release, and their silence is crumbling from the pressure within. Every card here confirms one truth they cannot voice. You are the only person they genuinely want. Their deepest confession holds no complexity or metaphor. They chose you, and they never once stopped choosing. The hidden truth beneath every card in this section is that you own a part of them permanently. The final stretch of this reading carries immense weight, and I need your complete attention right here. The cards save their clearest vision for last, and what they project into your near future is breathtaking. This section moves through what is coming, the guidance you need, and full confirmation of today's reading. The first near future card is the Three of Wands, showing you standing at the edge of expansion. Within the coming weeks, visible evidence of this shift appears in your world, and you can feel it. You witness the early stages of this connection rebuilding, and the momentum carries a warmth you recognize. This card says you no longer wait in darkness because the horizon in front of you finally glows. Imagine yourself weeks from now, breathing without that familiar heaviness, feeling peace replace the anxiety you carried. That version of you is not a fantasy. It is the direct result of what these cards activated. The patience you held through the hardest season of your life, this card confirms it paid off entirely. A new chapter opens physically in front of you, and the evidence arrives in ways you cannot deny. The next near future card is the Lovers, sealing the romantic trajectory of this entire reading today. The Lovers confirms a defining moment of choice arrives, where both of you stand face to face. This card does not represent casual interest. It represents sacred alignment between two people who belong together. What unfolds between you both carries the signature of something divinely orchestrated, permanent, and deeply real. The Lovers says this reunion carries a different texture than before because both of you evolved through separation. Now the advice card arrives, and Temperance offers the wisest guidance the deck could provide today. Temperance says, do not rush the process, even though every fiber inside you wants to sprint toward resolution. Allow this energy to unfold at its sacred pace, trusting that the timing was calculated before you arrived. Balance your desire for answers with patience, and let this person arrive at honesty on their own terms. Temperance advises you to hold your center firmly, because your calm presence becomes the anchor they need. Your stillness in this moment carries more power than any forced action, and the cards honor that truth. Do not abandon your worth to accelerate this timeline, because the miracle arrives precisely when you stop chasing. Let me bring us back to the message that opened this reading, because it deserves final weight. You suffered long enough in love, and your miracle is here, not approaching or distant, but fully here. The star began your healing, and Ten of Cups confirmed emotional fulfillment standing right at your doorstep. Ace of Wands reignited passion, and the Empress declared you worthy of love without a single condition. Nine of Swords honored your sleepless battles, and the Moon validated the confusion you walked through alone. Four of Cups exposed your protective numbness, and Queen of Wands revealed the fire still burning beneath it. The Devil confirmed their obsession with you, and Knight of Cups exposed the romantic truth they buried. Seven of Swords uncovered fear driving their silence, and Two of Wands showed them standing at the crossroads. Eight of Wands launched the breakthrough, and the Chariot confirmed unstoppable movement arriving directly at your door. Page of Swords brought honest conversation. The Hierophant revealed they see you as something genuinely sacred inside. Six of Cups held their nostalgic longing, and King of Pentacles exposed their desire for permanent commitment. The Lovers sealed the reunion ahead, and Temperance gave you wisdom to trust the pace of this unfolding. Every single card confirmed the same undeniable conclusion, and not one card contradicted the message given today. This is real, and I need you to hold that truth with everything inside you going forward. Come back to this reading when the first sign arrives and confirm what the cards already told you. Thank you for trusting me with your energy today, and I will see you in the next one. The cards save their clearest vision for last, and what they project into your near future is breathtaking. This section moves through what is coming, the guidance you need, and full confirmation of today's reading. The first near future card is the Three of Wands, showing you standing at the edge of expansion. Within the coming weeks,